Welcome back. This is Question Time. Our guests today are Mr. Ikhlis Danzi, the National Education Secretary from NUM, and Graham Herbert, the Managing Director of TEBA. We were still, Graham, talking about the processes that are involved then in claiming this money. Just talk us through those.
Well, those are set down by the Pensions Fund Act and also by the trustees that represent these various funds. And it needs to be done properly because the right people need to be paid. But nevertheless, in our call centres and walk-in centres, where we've had now 25,000 people making applications to various monies that they think they owed, TEBA Limited is easily able to check the details of that person, name, surname, ID number, passport number, or even industry number, to see whether any money is owing to them. And our progress so far has been very good. In the past, the trustees of these various funds would send TEBA Limited lists of people that needed to be traced. And our decision now to move into a radio campaign and to open our centres as walk-in centres and to have a call-in centre is because we believe the old method is not working, because these backlogs are simply getting bigger and bigger. So this is our solution to help try and break that backlog and pay people the money that they owed.
Can we punctuate the processes really that you're embarking upon to reach out to these people? I mean, in Lesotho, for instance, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, are you running radio campaigns there? In the Eastern Cape, I know that that process is up and running. In KwaZulu-Natal, I haven't seen anything. In Limpopo, for instance, I haven't seen much. So just talk us through the campaigns that you're embarking upon.
Yes, in the first month, Bongi, we went on, I think it was Umhlobo Wenene, which is mainly Xhosa-speaking people.
In the Eastern Cape, yes.
Yes, and in the last month, we've been on a number of local community stations. So Iguala, various, so Limpopo, the Northwest, Botswana, lots of our calls have come from Lesotho. So there are a lot of local community stations there, and also in Mozambique.
And government involvements in these countries?
Well, we work very closely with government. We're the agents who've been nominated by these various funds to make the payments in most cases. But where mine workers, choose to be paid in a different way, then they're entitled to do that. The government has always been very supportive. And I must say, our level of support has probably been highest in Botswana, where we've really had a lot of support from government.
And looking at the map, do you go as far as Zambia, for instance, Namibia also?
No, Bobby, that map of yours is slightly out of date. Mine workers in gold and platinum today are employed from Mozambique, Swaziland, Lesotho, and Botswana. And just for your interest, the total number of mine workers in Mozambique and Lesotho today is about 35,000 mine workers per country. That's a total of 70,000, and in Swaziland it's about 8,000, and in Botswana it's less than 3,000.
All right, let's come back to the NUM here, because you have astute leaders, former leaders. I mean, Cyril Ramaphosa is the Deputy President of the Republic today. He was at the NUM. You have Mr. James Mutlatsi, also a brilliant business person right now. He was at the NUM. You have Senzeni Zokwane right now, who is the Cabinet Minister, really. What role can they play to change, to transform the mining sector, stuff that they didn't and couldn't do back then because of different circumstances, and that you think today they can come back and implement to transform the industry?
The influence, we believe that the influence they can play in transforming South Africa and the mining industry is that they have the ability to talk both to the government and also to talk to the mining industry. Probably the level they are in, the mine bosses can understand them better now, and we strongly believe that there must be a political will from the mine bosses, from the captains of the industry, to transform the mining industry. At a certain point, we were toying around the idea of even deploying the leadership to the board of these companies, but we realized that it will be dangerous because if the vote goes against the leadership of the union, the company would say the leader was part of the board and he agreed on this decision, not taking into account that it is a vote of the board. So even in this case, we rely solely on the will of the captains of the industry.
And you find that they are willing?
No. They are not. That is why we are in this state.
Protecting their bottom line, of course.
That is why we are in this state.
And the big bonuses that they are getting.
All what we are saying, there is no reason for you to protect the bottom line of your company when you know that something of this nature is going to happen in the near future. You lose everything you build over the years. So it's important that you must take a painful decision now for the future of the company.
Do you get a
Bongi,
sense?
may I
Yes,
add something there to what Ecliff has just said, and that is from a TEBA perspective. When Dr. James Motlatsi retired as the past president of the NUM and was deployed by the union to TEBA Limited, it was with the idea that the resources of that entity, which was then owned by gold and platinum producers, that the resources of that company would be used to help alleviate hardship caused by migrancy. And for the first 5 years or so, Dr. Motlatsi realized that he wouldn't reach those ambitions, and therefore offered to buy the company from those owners. So he's been the owner, the majority shareholder and owner of TEBA for the last 10 years, and has used the resources of that business to come up with solutions to address all of these problems. Job security, financial security,
exactly,
addressing illness and also backlogs.
And one of the things that perhaps needs to be done is to see the mine workers having their own bank, but that's a discussion for another day. Do you think after this, mine workers will feel that unions are still relevant?
I strongly believe that mine workers still strongly believe on the unions. If you would follow what happened in the platinum sector, where in 2012, workers were forced to resign from NUM. By the way, we indicated that it's not going to last. What was happening, because we know the history of the person who is driving at this union. Workers were forced to leave the NUM. Now they are forced to join the strike. Now they are being killed to be NUM members. And at the same time, they are coming back to NUM. There is no amount of intimidation, no amount of death that is going to stop them to join the union.
I guess you have proof of that. But the time 24. From me and the rest of the crew, have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.